Hello campers and woodsmen. I'm Donnie Pavlini with Donnie Pavlini Outdoors, and today I wanted to talk to you about something that's really not the most pleasant of subjects to talk about, and that would be overcoming situational and seasonal anxiety and depression. Now, what are my credentials for talking about this subject? I'm damn sure not a doctor, but I'm 52 years old. I've had these afflictions and managed them and come up with a system that has helped me greatly that I'm just simply willing to share. If this isn't the kind of subject for you, you may want to just stop now. And another thing is these gray hairs on my head. I'm telling you, they're hard-earned, but you can overcome these things and simply enjoy living. During this time of year, there's a lot of folks that I know of right now, personally, in my life, including me, that recently have suffered some type of personal loss or something else. Rational thinking is like walking down a road. Your path's in front of you. It makes sense. It has a purpose. You go from point A to point B. Depression and or anxiety, well, what it does to the rational mind is it veers a little bit off the beaten path, and you're going through rough territory. Some of the root causes for depression is lost loved ones. You know, they've gone, there's a hole, there's a void in our lives, and we miss them very much, and causes us great pain. And the continued thinking about these kinds of pain and things like this, well, if it's not resolved, leads to depression and anxiety. All right? Anxiety is a reaction to something that is perceived, okay, a danger. Nervousness caused by the inability to change something, that's anxiety. Anxiety is very painful. It can manifest itself in panic attacks and things like that. Or it can just keep you awake at nights. I mean, sleep gets messed with, everything gets messed with, okay? Anxiety. The cause of this is your current situation, as in your finances, your personal relationships, okay? Things like that. If they're not going well, that could possibly lead to depression. And unrealized goals. Each year it seems like I've taken an accounting of where I am, where I want to be, and where do I think I'm going. And if that doesn't line up the way it should, well, that causes a little anxiety and a little depression. How do you deal with something? Well, the important word is deal. No deal, you're not going to come out. Remember, even though seasonal and situational depression is a temporary thing, what we're trying to do here is shorten that duration of pain. And the first thing I can think of is get to a retreat. Get to a happy place. Now, the reason why the biggest thing that you want is to get to where it is quiet. Quiet from all the senses. When you're at home and you're in the midst of a depression, or at work or wherever, you have sights, sounds, smells, things that can make us anxious, that can remind us photographs of loved ones, the loved ones themselves, knickknacks, pieces of gear or equipment, things like that, television, electronic stuff. This makes a lot of noise, a lot of auditory noise, a lot of visual noise, and even smell. Your sense of smell definitely has something to do with it. When you're in that environment, then you're conditioned to bristle up, brace yourself, and you're on guard. What you want to do is get to a place that is quiet. And there's no better place I can think of for me, my situation, than out here in the great outdoors. When you get to your retreat, the first step to overcoming these afflictions is owning your pain. You got to own it. Now, I know some people go through little things, some people go through big things, but part of dealing with something is you got to own it. You got to accept it, that it's yours. You've got to face it, okay? Owning your pain. Allow yourself to feel the complete depths of what's bothering you. Now, some things are so big that that's got to be taken in little bites, not all at once. This action alone will start reducing your anxiety. The fact that you've taken a step to face and overcome something, just that action alone will reduce the anxiety. I can tell you that. Situational depression, seasonal depression. Chronic depression cannot always be traced, or clinical depression cannot always be traced to a root cause. You feel that way because of a chemical imbalance or something like that in your head. But seasonal and situational depression can always be traced back to a beginning. Okay? And be honest with yourself about what's bothering you, what's getting you down. Then you can face that and build on recovery. Running from and ignoring what is bothering you will make your level of anxiety rise. No question about it. Okay? So the quicker you own your pain, admit to what is going on, the faster you can overcome it. And let's talk about the power of our words. The power of words. Saying something, the act of saying something out loud. I am completely erect because I said this and so about so and so. Or this person so and so said something about me and it hurt me. The act of saying that makes that become a reality. When you say these words, you're hearing what you're saying, not just what you're thinking, but you're hearing auditorily. You're going to hear that. And the act of listening to yourself will reveal things to you like, man, that's not really that big of a deal, for me to be feeling this way, okay? Or, it could be, man, it's really terrible. What I need to do is go to that person and address this issue, maybe clear it up. I need to get with him, and we got to have some kind of a resolution, okay? Depression, most depression, is simply issues that are unresolved. And that's what you want to do. You want to resolve your issues. You want to hit them head on, whatever's bothering you. I gather strength from retreating by myself, alone, where I can listen to the quiet. I'm not being overrun with noise, okay? I gather my strength in that kind of environment. Remember I said the power of words, is like a two-edged sword. It works two ways. The other side of the coin is realizing and saying out loud, affirming things about yourself that are true. As in this example, well, that person said this, that's fine. That person has a right to deal with it. May have been having a bad day, but the thing is, I'm better than that. I really am. Another thing, I have people that are counting on me, that need me, that love me. And dadgummit, this is enough of this foolishness. It's time to get going. That's another thing. Saying things about yourself that I don't care what this person says. I know full well what I can do. I know full well that I didn't say that to hurt that person, and this is a lie about me, and it's not true. And doggone it, I'm not going to let this ridiculous nonsense get me down. It's those kinds of things that you've got to say. Or this. It's been 43 years since I've lost my daddy. God knows I miss him every day. And I'm thankful, though, the time that I had. And doggone, I miss you, Daddy. And I'll talk to you next year if I still feel this way. And I'll see you again. It's those kinds of things. And let it go. Another thing that causes a great deal of pain in a lot of people has got to be an unwillingness to forgive oneself for wrongs or that they've done or mistakes they've made. That's not going to get you anywhere but sad and definitely depressed, and you may be riddled with anxiety over that. Unforgiveness is one of the most powerful things that affect us and get us down. We have to get to the point to where we can be honest with ourselves. We can admit, we can say out loud something we've done wrong and say, you know what, I made a mistake. I sure wish I didn't do that. Now, the business is at hand to forgive myself, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to forgive myself right here now. I'm going to forgive myself because I sure didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry, and I'm not going to do that again, and I'm going to move on. These feelings of depression that I'm feeling today will not rule me tomorrow because I'm dealing with this now. Now I'm done with this. That kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. The power of forgiveness. Unforgiveness is like a huge weight that we carry. And yes, we're going to feel down. We're going to feel the weight of this. We're going to feel depressed. Do yourself a favor. Learn to forgive yourself. And also know this. Forgiveness is a process. You know. So the next time when these feelings attack you and you feel, oh gosh, I wish I wouldn't say, no. Yesterday, I went through this. I felt the full pain of this. And I was sorry for what I did. I made an agreement with myself yesterday to forgive myself and not carry or feel these feelings today. You've got to remind yourself that these things were dealt with. You have to do it because you have to. Forgiveness is an ongoing thing. It's a process. It's not always, I forgive you and it's over with. No, especially with self-forgiveness. Self-forgiveness keeps coming back over and over and over. And so the way to deal with it is you've got to say, whoa, I've dealt with this already. Remind yourself, I'm not carrying this guilt. Doing that will definitely lighten your load. It has for me. This is definitely my happy place. The great outdoors. So get out. Get out to your quiet, happy place. Get out to a place where you don't have the noise of home or work or everyday life. You want to take a little departure from that. You want a digression, if you will, in your own life. And there's no better place to do that, in my view, at least for me, than in the great outdoors. It's a big world out here, and it doesn't have to be a scary place or a place that makes us sad. So let's take a look. You may be surprised with what you find and how good it makes you feel. From Donnie Pavlini Outdoors to you and yours, I wish you nothing but the very, very best. Have a Merry Christmas and don't be depressed. We'll see you in the woods. Take care.